This is Al Spath. It's hey, July 18th, my birthday. On top of everything else, I thought I'd just do a quick video here this morning. We were doing the micro limits, but let me introduce you to a six-player table. Now, this table may or may not stay up. What happens when you get six-player tables is you get a couple of people that get busted and in and out, and all of a sudden it goes flat. So it could be a short video. But as you notice, I've been here for about a minute or so, just played a hand, I won a hand, I lost a hand, but uh, this guy is way up for a 10 cent, 25-cent table, and these two have a running battle going on. And it's a good table to show how tilt can affect people. He's got this gentleman here has got this guy tilted. He's calling him every name in the book, from this homosexual to that, and they just go down and chat and get off base, and they forget about the game. He's been dominating. He's been lucky. He's probably won some he shouldn't have, and he's using his stack in some cases to win some pots and dominate. But there's such a thing as reverse tilt. Tilt is one thing when you lose and you get upset and you start donking your money and you start playing really stupid and everything. But there's also a reverse tilt. So for this example, this guy's at 133. He could be experiencing some reverse tilt himself, in that he is getting, say here we go right here. He's getting to this euphoria that he can think he can do anything, and that's not the way you want to play poker. He's gambling a lot here, and it doesn't mean he has to have the best hand. He's got a good hand. Just turns out that this guy didn't have the ace king, but that's not a hand that you really want to waste all that kind of money on and take a race with. Um, so he's being silly. You notice here I had 6-10. I would have made a straight in that hand. So nines are pretty good here. I'm just going to make it a pot-sized bet, try to control things a little bit. Just don't want this guy to jump it up here. So I don't have a queen, but I'm going to bet the pot anyhow. See if I can get everybody to think I do, since I raised pre-flop. And that's quick money. That's an easy fold. Remember, you can play a wider range of hands. A lot of people don't realize that this is early position, but this is early position too. This is early position and late position. It changes. It's so fluid with six players, and usually one in and one going out, and maybe you have somebody sitting out. You might be playing 4 and 5-handed. So as for a position, you really just have to be understanding that it's very fluid, and it can be very, very deceiving. Here, of course, I would hit a 4 flush, but I can't come in with a jack 4 in early position. It's just something I can't do, and I don't recommend any of you that are starting out do it. Some of the more experienced players might do it because they know how to get away from the hand and play after the flop. This is a Vin raise here. We don't even recognize that as being a raise. We definitely will call with any pair. So that kind of a bet. Um, some people will do this with a big hand, hoping somebody will attack them. There's no reason to do it. Let's see a flop. See if we can. If this 3 were to 2, we'd be in business. Now I would think that he was going to bet 80 cents. He does. He seems to be one of these players that's very cautious about half pot bets. That he could take hands away from this player here, is what I imagine. Very cautious with his money. So normally you would throw this away, figuring that this guy's not going to raise it up. It's going to cost me 15 cents for 85. Okay, that's what, more than 6 to 1 on money. Maybe I catch an 8, maybe I catch a 2, maybe I catch both of them. So I'll put the 15 cent. If I don't, I just get out of the way. I would rather this be 6-4. I would rather it be a lot better than it is. But you never know. If for 15 cents you're not going to go, you're not going to go broke on something like that. Here I'll just fold it up. 143 is a very good bet into 190. I like 2/3, 3/4 pot bets. It shows they've got something invested in that hand. I generally don't like a half pot or a full pot. I use the full pot to push people out of pots. Here I picked up a very good hand. Don't have to worry about the big stack, although I like the big stack to be in there to double me up. I'm going to do a pot bet, but I think I'm going to do a little bit more than that because Royals has been paying people off. And so let's just see if I can get him to come for $1. Nope, couldn't do it. Now A6 and it's kind of late position isn't a bad, but these two have been going at it, and I don't like this, and it's been a raise, so it's easy to throw it away. If he would have folded here, I probably would have been 50-50 on whether or not I would have tried the raise. The King 7 is definitely a throwaway hand here. Royals is thinking about it. It's a fast and furious game. You can't be tight in this game. You can't be so conservative. You don't play because the blinds will eat you up, the rake will eat you up, and you won't make any money. So if you come into a 6-player table, and like I said, sometimes you're playing 5 and 4-handed because someone's sitting out or somebody leaves and another person comes in. You've got to be able to mix it up. So you have to play a wider range of hands, and your opponents know that as well. If you see somebody that's at the table that's not playing a lot of hands and they're very conservative, you'll notice that you can bluff them off hands, and they're probably not going to stay that long anyhow because they're going to be losing money at a great clip if they're not playing because they're posting constantly. A 5-9 is just something you can't do. Thank you, Soft Top. Welcome back yourself. Continue to tell folks about these micro limits. Hopefully this next week we'll concentrate on a few more tables like this and then move up to 25-cent 50 and then eventually in a 50-cent one, which might be a little high for some of the micro stakes, but I want to be able to do a few tournaments at the low level too. I did one the other day, but I didn't stream it, and now I don't know how to get it. I guess you can't post it in Twitch. I can only post it in YouTube. But if you want it, I should have it available in a day or so. Just email me at alspath@alspath.com, or no, it was too big to put in an email. Pardon me. You can get it from me on Skype. Al.spath is my Skype name. Just add me, and then I can just throw you the video over on that in a day or so. It was a 6-player sit and go. So nobody bet, and now all of a sudden the king comes. The king could give somebody with a deuce, king 2, could give somebody with 10 jack straight. Me putting money, I'm only going to get beat if I put money in there, or they're going to fold. Now, if I bet this king here, the king, the ace, and the 8 plays, the 3 doesn't play. If they have any king that's higher than me, they win. But I'm going to demonstrate. Maybe they have. I just want you to show their hands. I'm going to waste the 36 cents here in most cases. See, there's a king jack that's going to play. I just wanted to demonstrate. I knew I was beat, but I wanted to show you. I was hoping to see this guy's cards as well, but this site doesn't allow you to do that. There was really nothing I could beat in that situation, I didn't think. But again, being on Twitch and being that I'm a teacher, I want to illustrate some of those things, and sometimes I'm going to take a hit. But don't worry, it's my money, not yours, so you don't have to do it. I'm doing it to prevent you from doing it. I just want to bring out the example so you can see for yourself what I'm saying is correct. Now, if that had been a couple of bucks, of course I would have folded. Oh, my 8 would have came this time, but 3 diamonds on the board. Then I would have had to pay a $5 bet there. $60 under the gun will probably get me out of it. Even though they're playing a wider range of hands, I think I'll let that one go. I can let this one go as well. There are times with King 4, if I'm on the button and a 6 player, I'll attack the blinds. In this particular case, with him sitting here and him defending so many hands, I'm probably not more like to do it. See, that's what I mean. He's just messing with this guy here. They're having their own guy. You can't get caught up in somebody else's battle while you're trying to make money. You just got to be careful of that. I think we'll get a showdown here. Aces against queens. Wow. And the diamond comes out in the end, and the queens would have won that hand. I would have won that hand with the 4. I would have made it straight. Incredible. Okay, so things might normalize now with him gone, somebody else coming in. We'll just have to see. Interesting hand last night. I was playing 1-2 over at local casino, and I had about 250, 260 in front of me, down from 300 start. I picked up ace king in the big blind clubs, and it went around a couple limpers, and the small blind made it 10, and I made it 21. Let me get back to that hand in just a minute. Everybody folded except for the small blind he called. The flop came ace, jack, and 7 with 1 club. Now he called a dollar bet here, and he could very well have the king, so I got to find out early. If he stays, I'm probably behind. If he comes over me, I'm probably behind. But I got to fire. So the flop came out ace, jack, 7 rainbow, 7 of clubs was on the board, and again, this guy with the little min raise. I'll get back to the hand in just a second. He's going to have it. So the small blind bets out $10 on the flop, and I make it 30. He calls. A jack of clubs comes off on the turn, and he bets again. He bets 35. And now I'm not sure if he has the jack or not, if he has the ace jack or where he's at, and I decide that I'll raise him to find out. And so, I'm sorry, he bet 25, and I made it 65, and he called. And then the river came, something like an 8 of clubs, giving me a flush, and aces and jacks with a king kicker. But he leads out $20 again. And it kind of confused me as to what he's doing. Does he really have the ace jack here and just baiting me? And so I make it 50. He doesn't hesitate, and he goes all in for about $250. And you're absolutely right, Doc Hammett. It's not. It's just terrible. But I with these two guys here and the money stacks the way they were, if I could have hit something, I was trying to really take a lot of money there. So I was just demonstrating that. So I go into the tank, and meanwhile, I'm thinking, if he's got the ace jack in the full house, I'm toast here. And what could he have had? Let me figure this out. Go back to the beginning. And then the dealer starts talking. She's talking to this other girl that's across the table. They're talking about dinner, and they're talking about cars, and their voices are going, I can't think, I can't concentrate. So it's taking me, I'm in a tank for a while. I'm trying to figure this out, and I asked the guy, you really have ace jack? And he's just staring down, and he's not making a move. And finally, these two shut up, and I'm thinking about it, and I'm going through the whole thing, and I said, there's just no way I could fold his hand. So I make the call. He turns over Queen Jack of hearts. He had three hearts. He had three jacks, and I win with the flush. And she pushes the money to him like he won. And I said, "You're not even paying attention, doing your job as a dealer. You're talking and you're interrupting things, and now you're going to push him to, when I won. Oh, you have a flush. I didn't see that. I was giving it to him because he had three jacks. Oh my God." So anyhow, another bad hand here, and we'll get rid of it. You've heard my story of the day, and anyhow, I left after about 2 hours. I usually go for about 2 hours on Fridays and Sunday nights and stuff like that. Play a 1-2. So they sell them at this small casino. Have a 2-5, but I left with 252 for 2 hours. That's not a bad deal. So I was happy. When I go up to Delaware to play, my wife goes over to Christiana Mall, which is right near. So I got to win at a bigger rate there because I got to compensate for what she's spending at the mall, and then let's take her out to dinner afterwards. In this case, where I just slide over to the casino, which they built there in Maryland, about 5 miles from my house, I can leave her home, and I know that any profit I make is not offset by anything she's spending. The dark Kama, is that uh, from Vegas? Is that I'm trying to think. The dark camera. It's not Gale. It's hmm, um, the names are always throwing me off on here. Um, that's for sure. It's Carrie. I think it's Carrie Conga. And for those of you that haven't checked out the rest of the page, there's a full flush banner there. Download it. There's I think a $500 free roll, uh, and of course, Heartbeatpoker.net offers free rolls all the time. So please join that crowd. You can't get into them unless you use their banner. So um, if you have an account, make a new account. But if you don't have an account, please get it. And they also broadcast on ASI Radio as well, music and other things. Yeah, 2 aisles, right? I said carry. I got it right. Give me some credit. All right. So here we got nothing in the blind. Easy to get away from this. I could try to steal it, but that doesn't look like a 5 beta kappa bet. You know, let's let's just see what they're made out of here. Generally speaking, somebody bets the minimum. They just have a piece of it. They're just trying to add to the pot, and you can steal from them. And you always can steal much better by check raising out of the blinds, as I just did. Don't have to have the hand. Sometimes you just have to read the cards, read the tea leaves, and then do something. If that guy that was over here would have bet, 40, 50 cents, something over the minimum, I probably won't try that. It indicates they have a little something. They might not be willing to give it up, especially in position. That's an interesting card. When the turn card comes and the betting starts to ramp up, and you notice it matches one of the cards on the flop, you can almost bet that somebody's on a flush draw. There's an ace 7 against triple aces. Wow. He wishes he was on a ace flush draw there. That was nice. Big hands. This guy's gone a little bit quiet since Royals left. He's calming down from his tilt mode. As you notice, I pointed out at the beginning, when you have the reverse tilt, you get in lots of hands, you try lots of things, and you don't realize what you're doing. Now he's kind of getting back into a groove. I don't like that limp. It's probably something like a low medium pair, suited connector, something, an ace X. I don't have much anything. If I wanted to play this thing, I'd have to raise it up to $1.50 or something and go for a steal. Don't really like the cards. King 10, I definitely would have went. Now, I wouldn't have called. I would have raised. All right, this guy checks it back. It's an automatic bet for Mimi now. Missed an opportunity, Mimi. Could have won that a lot sooner than that. And that's what I talk about. This guy limped for the quarter. You knew he didn't have much of anything. If he didn't hit nothing, you weren't going to see anything. Can't call that, that's for sure. Nice, Isles. Always interesting to see how somebody comes up with the name. You know, I renamed Gail a while back as T-Mobile because she'd call with any ace. She didn't like that one. So Queen Jack is not a good hand, but we're playing six-handed. So if I'm going to come in the pot, I'm going to come in the pot or raise. I'm not going to limp with it. I'm going to put pressure on everybody else, try to get people out. Now I've got position on everybody that's left in the hand. They think I have a bigger hand than I might have. I can continuation bet. I'm against one player, so I'm going to go at least 3/4 of the pot. They stuck around. Now I caught my queen. So now I'm going to do a full pot bet. Oh, he says he's hit something bigger than me. He's got 590, 580 behind. What could he have hit but two pair? So did he have a 6 and then he hit a queen? Did he have a 2 and he hit a queen? I raised pre-flop for him to call me pre-flop. Oh God, I let it time out. My bad. I was going to call there. Too busy talking. My bad. I would think that he had to call me. He would have had to have the queen 10 and he would have probably bet out on me on the flop. But if he had a pocket pair and hit a set, he would have done it the same way. He could have had a set there very easily. That was my bad. I got caught up in talking with you guys and I let the thing time out. But I was going to give it a call there, see what the river brought. I wasn't too sure he was that good. Haven't seen him play a lot of hands. Don't limp, buddy. I guess he listened to the broadcast. So we got this guy sitting out. Gonna throw that away. If that was 9-7, I'd be in there probably, but 9-6 a little stretchy. 9-7 would have been a good flop. Always interesting to see. I know a couple of you are chatting over there, but I like to see sometimes. Well, welcome everybody else that's not talking but in the room. Appreciate you coming. Appreciate you following me. And you get an alert when I do broadcast live or checking out my videos afterwards. They're always posted in my room. Tell some friends. Appreciate that. So ace four is not the greatest hand, but six-handed it's pretty good, and so we're going to raise it up. It is suited. Suited's going to give you about a 3% bump over an off-suited. So don't feel so bad about an off-suited ace when you're playing short-handed. It's still pretty valuable to you. If you read Ed Miller's books, which I just finished helping him with the course and going through for a final edit, and he talks about the suitedness of cards and how important they are to have. Now that's a nice flop for me because I got a double. I'm only going to bet 65 cents here. I want to keep them in because I've got a double draw there. But I'm not going to give him free cards there. Again here, ace-7 if I'm going to play. This is a stretch, but I'm got one guy sitting out, so I'm playing five-handed. I want these two out. I got the worst one in, which is the person that has the money here with the button, and I've got a weak hand. You have to think, what does he think I have? And he thinks I have a better hand than ace-7, and yet he still called. He didn't raise me, so I'm going to try 116, hoping he doesn't have a heart. If he stays, and see how fast he stayed, I don't have to put any more money back into the spot. As soon as he gave me that signal, that tell, that told me, forget about it. Don't even waste your money. He's in it to the end. So there are timing tells you could look for online as well. That's an easy fold to that. Two checks, got to bet. Only way this person stays if he had the ace or king of spades and he had a, he picked up the back door. Don't limp. Don't limp. No, no limping. It's now or never. Get him out. Comes over the top. I'm done. The longer he takes, the more likely I am to win. So there again, by raising pre-flop, he puts me on a pair, he puts me on something, and I'm able to continuation bet and win. Now we have two out. So definitely going to raise this pot. He'd be smart to take. He's got $152. He sat with maximum 25, so he's up 125. There he goes. He's going to bank that money. This gentleman's going to leave at the same time. So again, this might be a short video. These people might leave. If it gets down to three people, the rake is going to tear you up. That's a great flop for me. I got an open-ended draw, and I got a rainbow board. I'm not going to chase him away. I'm just going to check it, and hopefully I get there, and hopefully he picks up something. And what would be nice here is if he had 4 or 5, I call the 62 cents, and an ace comes on the end. Not the best card in the world. He bet there, and I don't know if he picked up the diamond flush like I told you before. I don't know if he picked up 2 pair, but he's going to put a half a pot bet into this thing. We're going to call him just so we can see what the hand is. And he did have the queen, so he slow played the queen, like a lot of people do when they have ace rag out of the blind, and then they come back later on. But that's okay because I wanted to show that hand. So sometimes I'm going to lose some money when I'm playing this game because I really want to demonstrate what's going on and what they did so that you can learn from it. I think if we lose another player here, we may have to abandon ship and call this a short video. Here I'm going to pay the 15 cents. I got the 7, so I'm going to lead out. I think the only person that stays here is the 9. I'm betting they don't have the 9. That's an easy vote. I'm hoping that somebody comes into one of these seats pretty quick. Because, again, it's going around the blind. Unless you're playing almost every hand, the blinds are going to eat you up. Nope. He's going to learn. He's not limping in. He might teach me one of these times and limp in with something big, but I'll just have to be prepared for that. Oh, now he's gone, so it's heads up. So I am going to also sit out and probably end this video and maybe do another one in a few minutes. If I can get another table, that's going. But I'm going to call in this situation here for this last hand. He checks, I bet. If he bets, I fold. Or she. I don't pay attention to the names sometimes. I want to thank you for watching this video. Tell some friends it's Teach GPL. And this is July 18th. And it was about a 35 minute video. We'll talk to you later. And thank you very much.